Hey guys, this is Chris from PaintballFitness.com. Last week, the U.S. Army, for the first time in 30 years, decided to restructure their basic training program. They're getting away from their standard 5-mile runs and their longer distance training, and they're going to start incorporating more sprints and sprint-based workouts because they're a lot more specific and a lot more directly applicable to what soldiers need to do once they're out of basic training. And this is a concept that you really want to start to take into consideration when you're designing your own training program. Whenever I wander around and notice paintball forums and somebody asks, how should I work out to get into shape for paintball? One of the first answers someone comes up with is always, dude, you gotta jog. You gotta run your miles and log your miles. That's bull, because jogging and running slowly for long distances is a terrible idea for a paintball athlete. There's a lot of different reasons that we'll explain in a second. If you do an online image search for marathon runners, you're going to get pictures of skinny guys. If you do an image search for 100-meter sprinters, you're going to get pictures of lean, muscular, athletic-looking guys. And gals, both. Yeah. Sorry. So the results of each style of training are very obvious because each style will produce a body that looks and performs a very distinctly different way. Any type of training you're doing, whether we're talking weight training or cardio, will literally train your body to adapt to what you're telling it to do. This is why guys who want to get stronger have to lift heavy weights. People that want to run marathons for 26.2 miles have to get used to running long distances. And people who want to run fast have to train by running fast. So it makes no sense for a paintball athlete to train their body to get better at running slowly for many, many miles when the sport of paintball takes place much faster in a much smaller area. If you want to look at the separate qualities that each style of training can produce, again, sprinting is going to win hands down across the board. When you're looking to train and improve running speed, obviously sprinting, like we said, if you want to run faster, you have to practice running faster. Jogging or running slowly for miles and miles will not improve your short distance speed. If we're talking about fat loss, which is part of some folks need to lose some fat, sprinting and sprint-based workouts are going to raise your metabolism for a much longer time. They're going to burn more total calories, and they just take less time to actually do. You can spend 20 minutes doing a sprint type of workout or 45 or 60 minutes logging your miles. If we want to look at building actual muscle, because sprinting is higher intensity, it can actually build some muscle in the glutes and the hamstrings, which are the key athletic muscles. Because jogging is a lower intensity and relatively easier, it's not a challenge for the muscular system, so there's no muscle growth. Lastly, building your cardio endurance or your wind. Sprinting is, without overcomplicating things, sprinting will build your aerobic and your anaerobic endurance, cardiovascular endurance, which is your long-term and your short-term endurance, while aerobic workouts don't. Aerobic workouts will primarily build your longer distance, not your shorter. So the bottom line is that if anybody tells you, or the next time you see somebody saying that jogging or running miles and miles is the best way to train for paintball, they do not know what they're talking about. And you can let them know I said so, because it's just not a fact. That's that. So just remember that paintball is not a hobby, it's a sport, so train like an athlete.